What if the person who always makes everyone laugh is actually the one most afraid of being rejected, ignored, or emotionally exposed? Today you are going to discover the Jester Archetype, according to Carl Jung, a psychological force that turns humor into power, protection, and sometimes a mask to hide emotional pain. In the next moments, you will understand why some people use laughter as emotional armor, how humor can be wisdom or avoidance, and why the jester can be both socially brilliant and emotionally guarded. Carl Jung believed our personalities are shaped by archetypes, universal patterns living in the collective unconscious that influence how we think, feel, and act. One of the most fascinating, charismatic, and underestimated is the jester. The jester represents humor, playfulness, rebellion, creativity, satire, and the ability to see the absurd side of life. It breaks rigidity, challenges authority, dissolves tension, and reminds us that life is also meant to be enjoyed. Think of the person who always has a joke ready, who lightens awkward moments, who brings energy to every social situation, and who seems carefree even in difficult times. That is the jester energy in action. In its healthy form, this archetype brings intelligence, flexibility, creativity, emotional awareness, and social charm. The jester knows how to laugh at themselves, relieve stress, and help others feel lighter. Thanks to this energy, we have comedians, satirists, witty thinkers, and people who bring joy wherever they go. The jester can also speak uncomfortable truths through humor. By joking, it can challenge hypocrisy, criticize power, and expose social illusions without triggering resistance. Historically, court jesters were allowed to mock kings without punishment. But here comes the controversial side. The same archetype that brings laughter can also become a defense mechanism that avoids emotional depth, responsibility, or vulnerability. In its shadow, the jester may hide insecurity behind constant jokes. It may fear silence, introspection, and emotional honesty, using humor as psychological armor. Instead of processing pain, it turns it into comedy. Instead of being authentic, it hides behind laughter. A common example is someone who never talks seriously about their struggles, but constantly jokes about them. They laugh at their heartbreak, failures, or sadness without allowing themselves to truly feel or heal. Another example is someone who needs to be the center of attention, using humor to gain validation, approval, and acceptance. If they stop being funny, they feel invisible or unworthy. This leads to a provocative question. Is humor always a sign of emotional intelligence, or is it sometimes a way to escape personal growth? Society praises funny people, but rarely questions what lies beneath their constant humor. Our culture glorifies entertainment, lightness, and amusement. Social media rewards humor and performance. But Jung would warn that when an archetype dominates without balance, a person loses authenticity, depth, and emotional awareness. The jester also craves novelty, play, and excitement. These individuals dislike routine and seek stimulation. When not integrated properly, this energy can lead to impulsivity, irresponsibility, and difficulty committing to long-term goals. However, Jung did not see archetypes as enemies. The goal is not to suppress the jester, but to integrate it. Recognizing its power allows humor to become wisdom rather than avoidance. Integrating the jester means learning to laugh without denying emotional depth. It means using humor to heal, connect, and inspire rather than escape reality. A balanced jester can bring joy while maintaining purpose, question the world while staying grounded, and entertain without losing authenticity. At its core, Jung believed exaggerated traits reveal unconscious needs. If someone constantly jokes, they may be protecting themselves from rejection, emotional pain, or feelings of inadequacy. Perhaps the most powerful realization is this: we do not always make others laugh because we are happy. Sometimes we do it because we fear being truly seen. If you have ever used humor to avoid serious conversations, hide insecurities, or gain approval, the Jester archetype may be shaping your personality more than you realize. But this is not a curse. It is an opportunity. Understanding this archetype allows you to transform avoidance into awareness, comedy into wisdom, and laughter into meaningful connection. Today you discovered that the Jester is not just a funny personality, but a powerful psychological force described by Carl Jung, capable of freeing the mind or keeping it trapped in superficiality, depending on how it is integrated. Now, tell me your opinion. Do you think humor is emotional intelligence or a way to escape reality? Leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe for more content on psychology, archetypes, and the hidden forces of the human mind.